Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. Today, I hope to inspire you by showing you records that can be found pretty easily at the Goodwill, garage sales, records that cost under $1. So a lot of you, my viewers, have told me that you are kind of backing out of the vinyl hobby because of price. So hopefully this video will inspire you to stick it out, maybe go to Goodwills more often or garage sales, antique stores, wherever you can go to find really great records. Because I'm going to be showing you a stack of records that I had been wanting in my collection that were found by a good friend of mine, Paul from California, and he goes to Goodwill stores, garage sales, he does it all. These particular records were all found for under $1, and there were a couple that were found at the Goodwill for $1.99. So these are all Goodwill store finds. Now, I don't want to put a damper on things, but I can tell you right now, our Goodwills where I live are terrible. Maybe if you come in at the right time, you will find something here, but he has tremendous luck where he lives, and he sent a huge stack of records my way, and I'm going to show you what I call the highlights of what he sent. And as I go along and continue to listen to these records, I'm sure that there are going to be some others that are going to become highlights. Before I show you those records, though, I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to Mike from Mike's Got the Spins. He is an up-and-coming vinyl channel, and I really enjoy him. He's a lot of fun. He has a great channel, and he's been so kind to me. And he has been watching my channel for a while. He knew I was looking for one particular record, and he found a great copy of it and sent it my way. So this is one that I've been wanting for years. Odessa by the Bee Gees, and he got this beautiful velvety copy. And yes, I've seen a couple of copies where it didn't have the velvet, but I was really holding on to getting this early pressing with the velvet on it. And he found a beautiful copy. It was in tattered shrink wrap, and I pulled the shrink wrap off, and it's now protected in a vinyl sleeve, so it's going to stay beautiful forever. And it's a great record, and it came out in 1969. The sounds are very much of that era, which is a good thing for me, as well as the style of the album cover. That velvet is really popular at that time, and I see a lot of retro Christmas designs and decorations from that era where they used red and green velvet as a decoration, and really cool. So this is a beautiful copy of Odessa. So I'm thrilled to finally have that record in my collection. Mike from the In Groove also recently showed that record. He finally found a really clean copy of it. So if a record store owner struggles to find a record, you know it's hard to find. Also, Mike from Mike's Got the Spins. There's a lot of Mikes in the vinyl community. He also sent this my way. It is Stranger Things 4, an alternate album cover along with a crossword puzzle in it. But what's really cool is the amazing mix of music that is on this soundtrack. Separate Ways, Worlds Apart by Journey. California Dreamin' by the Beach Boys. You Spin Me Round by Dead or Alive, a very fun song. I mean, there's just a lot of good stuff on here. Kate Bush, Musical Youth, The Cramps, Ella Fitzgerald, and Louis Armstrong. You want to talk about your hodgepodge, but wonderful music. Honestly, it represents my collection very well because I have a hodgepodge of a lot of different artists. So thank you to Mike from Mike's Got the Spins. I'm going to leave a link below to his channel, and I hope you will check out his channel, watch this video, give him a sub. I would really appreciate it. And now let's show you these really cool finds from the Goodwill. The first two I'm going to be showing were $1.99, but they were still sealed. I've now opened them and listened to them. Also, let me just show this real quick. These are some record collector books that he sent my way so I could look through. I don't get these. I don't have access to them. So I really love that he sent a huge amount of those my way. So let's show you these records. First off, for $1.99, this was still sealed. It is Kasey Musgraves. I really like her. I went to the Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville last April, and there was a huge exhibit showing a lot of her fashions that she wore to album covers and music awards. And I'm really surprised he was able to find a sealed copy of this for $1.99. It's on beautiful red vinyl. There is one song on here, oh my gosh, it's called I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. Y'all know that song. Maybe that's why it was at the Goodwill. Someone just couldn't handle that song. The rest of it's a lot of fun and really cool. And like I said, it's just a really nice record on red vinyl. And he managed to swipe this one up for $1.99. So, very cool. And then we move on to a wonderful record from the Pistol Annies. The huge star of Pistol Annies is Miranda Lambert, but there's also Ashley Monroe and Angelina Presley in here. I love Miranda Lambert. She's kind of like the modern day Tanya Tucker. When she sings a country song and talks about hard times, she's very believable. And I think this record is very, very good. I enjoyed it. It's on gold vinyl. Again, he found this at a Goodwill for $1.99, you guys. Crazy. And you know what? There's a lot of songs on here. The album title itself is called Hell of a Holiday, and that's a pretty humorous song. We get into some beautiful songs and beautiful harmonies. The last song is Old Lang Syne, gorgeous. And there's a song on here that really touched my heart, If I Could Make It Through December. And it really, when I was listening to it, brought back a memory that I hadn't thought about in a long time. And it was from when I was a little kid. My mom had a bacterial blood infection. It almost killed her. She was bedridden for a long time. My sister and I, at Thanksgiving one year, had to be sent somewhere else. She was unable to get out of bed, and we were very scared. And so that was a very scary time for us. And on top of having that blood infection, she received word that she was being laid off from her job, which is what that song, it was called If We Make It Through December, mentions that in the song. It's a song written by Merle Haggard. And it just brought it all back to me, that Christmas where mom got laid off. She was bedridden. We were scared that she was going to die. And then some wonderful things happened along on that Christmas. Some wonderful people, not from the town we lived in, but the town right close to us, a church. They came in and brought us a basket of food. And at the time, mom couldn't get out of bed, and my sister was doing the cooking, and she was just barely tall enough to even reach the stove. So we had all these wonderful canned goods, and I can remember putting all of this food into mom's cabinet and just being like, feeling very relieved. And you know what? Mom got better, and by Christmas time, she was back on her feet. She ended up finding a job, and it all ended up working out. But you know, it's amazing. Just a simple song can bring back such a memory. And I know we all go through hard times here and there at Christmas. So that's my story. And if you have a story you want to share in the comments below, I would really appreciate it. But you know what? That ended up being a memorable Christmas. It makes me thankful for all of the wonderful Christmases I've had since then. And my mom was such a fighter. So let's move on to the next one. This one is another wonderful Christmas album. Amy Grant, A Christmas Album. This is one that we play. I do have a copy of this, but this one is sealed. So I'm going to keep it sealed for now, and if I ever wear out the other copy I have, I will open this one up. It's not leaving my collection. Worst case scenario, it gets passed on to my daughter. My daughter's a huge fan of this album too. So that was really cool. So those were the $1.99 records, and then we can move on to the ones that cost under $1. First off, this is Errol Garner, and this is a DJ not for sale copy, and he was a wonderful piano player. So I love having a white label promo of Errol Garner. Also, a beautiful copy of Bobby Gentry's Ode to Billy Joe, still in shrink on the Capitol label. Super clean, you guys. Do you ever see this record in this kind of condition? That's pretty amazing, and it costs under $1. Now, this one, Paul McCartney, So Bad. This is probably my favorite song from Pipes of Peace, although Say is decent. I love this 45, so that one is another cool one. This is a record that I've been wanting in my collection for a long time, and I do believe in what we call vinyl karma, where you give a record away and you get something back. It's just kind of the way it goes. I gave a Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison record away, and in return, now I have Johnny Cash at San Quentin, which is a record I have been wanting in my collection a long time. And it's very cool. Now I need to get some inner sleeves, so bear with me, you guys. I'm going to wash these records as soon as the inner sleeves come in. This is on the 2i Columbia label. So this is really cool. It has a lot of his hits on here. Wreck of Old 97, I Walk the Line, A Boy Named Sue, Folsom Prison Blues. I've always wanted to have this one, and so I'm thrilled to now have it, a very clean copy, and he paid under $1 for it, along with the fabulous Johnny Cash. This is super clean. It was still in shrink, but the shrink, it had done its job in protecting the album, but the shrink looked pretty rough, so I went ahead and took the shrink off and put it in this vinyl sleeve. And it's very cool because it shows on here this Columbia release. It came with 2 different records he sent my way. One of them is the fabulous Johnny Cash on this Columbia label, a little bit of a later pressing. But he also sent this wonderful 6i Columbia label version of the same record. So I love having those Johnny Cash records. I've been wanting them in my collection for so long. And here is a very cool Elvis record. Now this one is a 1977 reissue, so I'm assuming maybe it was after his death when a lot of his catalog probably got reissued. It's a very clean copy, and it is on this wonderful RCA record label. And I can only imagine back in the day when this record came out and Rip It Up was on the turntable. Rock and roll was brand new at that time, and Elvis, oh my gosh, that song is so cool. And I just can only imagine being at that time with rock and roll being brand new and hearing that kind of song. Amazing. So that's a really cool record. Along with Chubby Checker. Again, we're going into these older records. This is a 1960 copy. It is on the Parkway label. And I'm going to clean it and put it in a new inner sleeve as soon as they come in. Look at that, you guys. 1960. Amazing. And it's in really nice condition. And there's some really cool songs on here. I don't have a lot of 50s music, but you know what? Anytime I was around my dad, he was a huge 50s music guy, and in his car and at his house, it was playing all the time. Blueberry Hill, Hound Dog, whole lot of shaking going on, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, Rock Around the Clock, a really cool Chubby Checker record. So I don't ever see these, and if I do, the vinyl never looks good on them. So that was a very cool one to send my way. Here is Aerosmith. This is a limited edition live maxi single. It has a Darkness, a studio version, and it is produced by Ted Templeman. It also has She's on Fire, The Hop, and My Fist, Your Face. And this is a promotional copy. Underneath this sticker, you can kind of see a little bit of a gold stamp promo peeking out. So that was very cool. That will be a nice addition to my Aerosmith collection. Now we go into Motown records, because I have shown records from the Elemental Music label, And I've talked about how hard it is to find Motown music in clean condition where I live. So he sent a few things my way. This is Love Child by Diana Ross and the Supremes. And I love the album cover. They changed their image. Honestly, if you saw this outfit, you would just think that's the fashion of today. I love this record, so that was a huge thrill. Also, Diana Ross and the Supremes and the Temptations on Broadway, again on Motown. I have not listened to this one yet, but I'm very excited about it. I love both bands. Um, Here's Diana Ross's greatest hits. And I think this is really cool because if you are a mild Diana Ross fan, this is the record you'd want. It has Endless Love, theme from Mahogany, Do You Know Where You're Going To? It also has Upside Down, I'm Coming Out, which were huge hits back in the very, very early 80s. There's also some cool stuff. Ain't No Mountain High Enough, a medley with the Supremes. So this really covers a lot of Diana Ross, and I really love that one. And finally, The Temptations' greatest hits. So it's got really cool songs on here like My Girl, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, The Way You Do the Things You Do. Really great. So now I have a little bit more in my Motown collection. So I hope that brings some inspiration to you, that you can find some really cool records. Like I said, every single one of these records, besides the early ones that were still sealed, that were Christmas records, those were $1.99. These were all under $1. Thank you so much to Paul in California for sending me these records and for inspiring all of us to keep digging, keep looking. Let's not give up on our hobby just because things are getting kind of expensive. We can still find some really cool records. So if you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button and the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.